Hello everyone! The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. And Joe, right off the bat, would you recommend this show?
Oh, I would wholeheartedly recommend this show. I really, really enjoyed this.
I did too. So I've watched this twice because I watched it right when I got screeners for it like a month ago, and then I was like, wait, we're not recording for a month. So I rewatched it again this weekend.
It feels very bingeable. Like, in some ways, the model is reverse engineered because there's almost no tension or anticipating what's going to happen because the whole thing is just set up right from the beginning. Like, oh, okay, all the kids are going to die, and it's basically like Slasher season 5, where every episode is just dedicated to one of their deaths.
Yeah. Well, it's also like a little bit of Final Destination where you're like, okay, well, but like where death is personified. Like, I mean, you could argue that Tony Todd is death personified in those movies, but Carlo Gugino is right front and center with this. And yes, I would absolutely recommend this show. The rewatch is actually really fun because you can see how much foreshadowing or how many pieces of dialogue or actual like images are like in later episodes in those early ones. But I was curious how you were going to be with this, given the fact that they do tell us in the first 5 minutes of the premiere, all these kids are dead.
Yeah, initially for the first couple of episodes, it did bother me because it felt unnecessary. And then the further I got into the series, I realized, oh, it was never meant to be a mystery. Like, the show isn't trying to hide the fact that that's where we're going, because in some ways, it's laying its cards on the table in that opening episode, right? It's very much, oh, this is a critique of ridiculously wealthy capitalism, and I think we're meant to cheer for the death of most of these characters, even though I will say I enjoyed the hell out of almost all of these actors, and I kind of didn't want most of them to die.
I know, I'm the same way. And so, question, gun to your head, if you had to pick one of them to not die, which one would you pick?
So the show wants us to say Lenore, the grandchild, because of course she's the best.
No, which child? Not grandchild. Which child do you want to survive?
Okay. Well, I feel like that's a question of who is your favorite, and I do really like Camille, but it's just because she's such a fucking bitch.
So for me, it's Tamerlane, but not just because I love Samantha Sloyan, because I do.
Obviously.
But there's those moments in her episode, like, where she unloads to her husband, but, there's like a time jump and he's gone and she never said it. Yeah. She shows humanity and compassion for the first time ever to Juno, and Juno's like, he never calls me. And I was like, like, you have a good person in you. It's just been beaten out of you by your horrible father.
But I feel like we're meant to believe that for nearly all of them. It's just that because Tamerlane's death is so late in the season that we actually get to spend more time with her, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I feel like if we had to swap the order of some of these deaths, we probably would have felt the same way about whoever got episode 5, episode 6. Though I say that, and I don't give two shits about Henry Thomas's Freddy. He is the character I would absolutely boot from this series because I dislike them so much.
Oh, no, I mean, look, he is horrible. He is undoubtedly the worst of all the Usher children, but I would never boot him, if only because, A, Henry Thomas playing against type in this kind of a role is a hoot to watch.
Atlas Avenue, a long stretch of road that encompasses everything the city of Kennett Heights has to offer. Neon lights, traffic, crime, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the craziest of characters. My office was above it all. My name is James Locke, and I'm a PI.
Hello, Mr. J. How the hell you doing today?
Good, Edith. Nearly every year I have a new case. New people to meet, new clues to discover, and new problems to solve. But I do it the old-fashioned way. No technology. Nothing post-1950. Hell, I don't even listen to podcasts, but you should. Atlas Avenue Beat is a spoof of the film noir genre with goofy characters, tons of wordplay, and non-stop raunchy humor. There's also 3 whole seasons out right now with more on the way. Just search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts or visit us online at bloody.fm.